Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the TB&J podcast. Across from me, Troy Bittingham.
Hello!
Hey, I get the joke. And over there's Chris Carroll.
Hey, Jeff, could I have another shot of that mystery beverage that our listeners won't be able to tell what's in it until the end of the episode?
What is wrong with you?
He's doing a plug for the little bit I did at the end where I made you guys drink terrible fucking...
Listen to the end, listeners.
Jeff, you're supposed to save that for the end.
Yeah, I'll bleep that out.
Oh,
At the
you
end.
fucking...
I'll bleep it. No one will know.
Do you have a bleep
Terrible
button?
mystery beverage. I do have a bleep button.
Ooh, listen to me slurp.
On the theme song!
This is a weird one. This is going to be a weird one.
We're just in that headspace.
Oh my god, it does not taste great. Spoilers.
Behind the scenes, we're going to record Moon Knight after this with D and his wife. I'm going to make them try it too. And I'm pretty excited to make them try it.
Also, Jeff, you made a terrible mistake. You gave me a carbonated beverage.
Oh. Dude, don't do that on the mic.
This is Jeff's fault.
The latest episode of Halo, episode 6. Halo fucking got real good, you guys. Halo,
It had some good parts.
thumbs up, thumbs down.
Thumbs up.
I would do thumbs up. It got good. I'm not
Thumbs up
convinced
from
it
me as
got
well.
real good.
Why not? What are your complaints?
I don't know. It's just,
There's some parts that I have complaints with as well.
yeah. It feels like it got back down into.
Troy, you have the floor.
It got back down into. Okay, things are happening now, but it's also still a lot of people in lab coats sitting around talking, which is fine. But I think I have residual upsetness from the last 4 where I'm just like, I don't want to hear any of these people talk ever again.
Yeah.
I'm like, please just shoot a jackal. But I don't know. The things that happened in this one were much more interesting than the things that happened in the past.
Yes, that is absolutely true. The plot definitely moves forward quite dramatically in this episode, and we don't really need to do a play-by-play, because if you're listening to this episode of the podcast, you've definitely already fucking watched the episode of Halo.
Or you don't care.
Or you don't care, and you're just downloading us because you support us and you want to keep them numbers up.
You love our sultry voices.
And we still appreciate you.
You like me
however,
putting weird things into my body.
that too. Oh, man.
Completely unrelated to the podcast.
I'll make that a separate YouTube post for the podcast. How about that? But yeah, it's this episode does have a lot of like the lab coats and stuff. They have the what's her name? The senator
Parangoski.
Parangoski. Thank you.
Not a senator.
Not a senator.
She's an admiral.
She's an admiral. I'm real good at this, you guys.
She's head of ONI Section 3.
Yes, she is Halsey's boss, and she fucking canned Halsey, and it was awesome. Oh my god. Oh, Halsey walked in, and Parangoski was like, I know that you have the records to put us all in jail, but I'm going to wager you're never going to do that, so I'm canning you. You're going to get a new lab in some remote area of the world that no one's going to give a shit about.
We're sending you to Ohio.
Basically.
Oh, no.
We're sending you to the space equivalent of Ohio.
I know.
Ohio,
I
if
know
you
the
will.
UNSC are bad, but come on.
Ohio sucks, man. As a man who's been there a few times, Ohio sucks. There's nothing there, man. I went to Cleveland. Was it Cleveland? No, I think I went to Cincinnati for like this punk rock thing going on. And first of all, I was surprised it was even happening in Ohio. And second of all, I got there with John, and we were like, all right, what are we going to do in Cincinnati? And we drove around, and it was like every bar had closed by like 10 o'clock at night.
Is this when you butt broke a windshield?
No, that was in Jersey.
Gotcha.
At a drive-in concert.
Oh, no.
The mics definitely picked that up, Chris.
I had my mic turned off and I was burping away from everybody. I fucking cut my mouth to fucking redirect it.
I don't know why I always find burps and farts so funny. Just
Because you're 6 years old?
Oh, but you don't want me to do it into the microphone.
I think they're
No,
funny. But I'm still an audio
nobody
guy.
else wants you to do it into the microphone.
I want to do it.
So,
But then Jeff had to talk to me about something called professionalism. And I can't say that many syllables without my nose bleeding.
Chris, how did you feel about Halo?
It was a lot of fun. Some of my bigger problems with it was just this sort of contrivance where when they're like in their chairs, Parangoski and Keyes, and listening in on the conversation between
with
Halsey
and
that one guy, and
another
then later
like
Chief.
Oni Chief. Yeah.
Miranda randomly walks into that room, and apparently they have like the audio from that room playing over.
Yeah,
when
that was
they're
weird.
using like there's the weird skull things, and they're like,
they have these little discs they put on their head, and it put them digitally into the room with Halsey.
I just
like,
really wanted there to be cucumbers
there.
over their eyes, just like a
Get
mass.
the spa treatment.
Yeah.
I mean,
hot coals.
you know, they're busy people. You don't have time to go to the spa to get those eye treatments.
Sometimes you gotta have a
optimize the
meeting.
time you have.
Yeah, you have to have a meeting, and you also have to get your beauty section in at the same time. You know?
Exactly. But yeah, it seemed really weird that like if you're gonna go through the trouble of putting yourself into a meeting digitally, why have the audio playing over a speaker in the room?
And
that seems like
why
it
does
defeats the purpose.
Miranda walk into that room. Why is nobody screening the room?
Yeah,
so she knows
They're
about
like
the things
two,
that are happening
two
in
top
the show.
admirals of the UNSC.
Yeah,
it's a captain and an admiral in the
Captain
UNSC,
Keyes and Admiral
and they're doing
Paramount.
some real fucking shady shit that no one else should be privy to. And Miranda just waltzes in.
It's the equivalent to if you and I are talking about shady shit, and we just kind of like cupped our faces away from Chris, and we just started talking about it, just like
I wouldn't
just like
appreciate
how we
that.
usually talk about Chris behind his back.
Yeah, like how when Chris moves, we're definitely kicking him off the podcast. He's
And
not
we're
going to be back on.
and we'll talk shit about him every single day.
Absolutely.
Totally.
And he won't know until he downloads because he is also a loyal listener.
Sure,
Use-
I'm going to download every episode and listen to it immediately.
Like you do already.
I have to go.
So that was a pretty big plot hole kind of thing where it's like, why was she allowed in that room at all? And why, if you're gonna do shady shit that you need to be like present for, but not actually be in the room, why would you have the audio playing over a speaker? That defeats the whole purpose.
So
of
Miranda knows what's happening in the plot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's there.
And
but
you know
like,
what? I can overlook that contrivance because nobody's trusting McKee, which is great because they shouldn't
Okay,
trust McKee.
That was really, really good. Also, for the record, we've been calling her McKee, but like, I'm pretty sure this is the first time she actually dropped her name. We know it's McKee from the subtitles and from like looking up the actor names and shit. But like, I'm pretty sure in the show, this is the first time her name has actually been said,
No,
aside from the blessed one.
She said it to the other UNSC people she murdered.
Did she? Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. I'm going to take your word on that because you are the big Halo guy on this podcast. But that, it just
I
seemed-
remember hearing her name before
Okay.
this moment.
Okay. I'll give it to you then. It just seemed kind of odd that.
I won't. I'm skeptical.
Okay. Moving on.
Yeah, well, you can be skeptical. I'm going to be bespectacled, and we're going to move on with the podcast.
All right.
That was the worst joke I've ever told in my life.
Now you've made worse. Anyway, so
Don't worry, Jeff. You're still middle-aged.
Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm 25. 26? How old am I?
you're 26. We're the same age.
This is a real silly episode. Chris was right. He called it right off the bat.
I said that actually.
Did you say it?
Yeah, it was me.
God. Now even his fucking memory's going already.
Guys, if you have a friend that you want to turn on to this podcast, give them this episode and give them no context.
or never show them this podcast if you want to remain friends. Just,
Troy, you're not having confidence in the brand, man.
I'm just trying to maintain friendships.
Confidence in the brand.
Friendship is everything.
Friendship is magic.
Jeff, what do you think about Halo?
Halo is getting really good. So after Halsey gets hauled off, literally like two Marines show up to escort her back to her apartment. Miranda Keyes gets the lab and she takes over, and immediately she starts doing like sciencey things, but then she gets blocked out, and then the screen just says "See me," and she's just rolls her eyes like, "Ugh, what a drama queen!" Like, yeah, seriously, why would you do that to your lab before leaving? I feel like someone should have inspected it before handing it over to Miranda or something to make sure Halsey didn't leave like tear gas in there or like a nerve gas agent or something. I don't know. Halsey seems kind of petty.
Halsey sent her a message that initially starts with, "As per my last email."
Yeah, honestly, and
There's
like,
just a whoopee cushion on the seat.
why go through all this effort instead of just like shooting her a text like,
Because
"Hey,
Halsey's
come see
a
me."
bitch.
I mean, yes, but like it's real easy to just text someone, right? Like I don't know much about Halo lore, but like they have cell phones.
and,
Yeah,
al-
please,
and-
it's-
and obviously she has a plan.
And please, it's called Halo.
Boo. Boo.
It's the official name. I'm sorry.
Troy,
It's just-
boo.
It's the official name. I'm sorry. You have to
Anyway.
abide by the rules.
Anyway, so she does end up seeing Halsey, and Halsey's like, "You cannot test John or the artifact without me present." And she's like, "I mean, yes, I can. It's literally my lab now. Go fuck yourself, Mom." And Halsey's just like, "I'm so sorry that you feel hurt because I'm a bitch." Like, that's literally what the apology amounted to.
She's like a celebrity going up in front of all of her fans and just, I'm sorry by anybody who
I'm
may
sorry
have...
if you got offended by what I
anybody
said.
who may have been hurt by my statements.
Yeah, like, she didn't...
Puts
she,
on the fucking waterworks.
Exactly. She
Her
even, like...
single tear that she can shed within like a
She did
entire year.
She did a YouTube apology video. Guys,
what it was.
I never wanted to have to make this video.
And yet I said some dumb racist stuff on YouTube, and now I gotta make this video. No, but, like, they... Oh, that's my cell phone going on.
Oh my god, Jeff, I can't believe you said that and then made that apology video.
Yeah, I would never make an apology video. Because
We
fuck
know.
that. Free speech is also... Yeah, fucking Halsey has, like, her one tear, and then, like, I imagine she, like, pats herself on the back. She's like, "That's enough emotion for the rest of my life. Thank you very much."
Aiden walks out with like an Oscar. He just kind of hands it away to anybody, though, because I don't think that he actually understands what an emotion is.
I don't think
And then Will
Aiden's on the
Smith comes
Academy.
up and slaps
And
Halsey.
just, "Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth."
I have no idea what you're
didn't even
referencing.
say
Anyway,
You don't?
no, come on.
Everybody knows.
The slap heard around the world.
It's yeah, it's almost echoing so much where you're just like, all right, it's annoying now. So
Halsey
we
has,
also
like, we found out the reason she did all that was, like, Halsey had some fucking, like, contact lens in, like, the Batman, when he had his contact lens that recorded everything. Hers recorded something. I think it was
Jeff.
recording...
There's other things other than Matt Reeves the Batman.
there
Come
isn't.
on.
No, there isn't.
Come
Stop
on,
trying
man.
to make this into another Matt
Later
Reeves
tonight, when
Batman.
Dee and his wife show up to do the podcast for Moon Knight, if you think I'm not starting off with that stupid joke, you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong, because she hasn't heard that joke before, and
Oh
I
my
want to make
God.
it and see what her reaction, because I know she fucking hated the Batman. Anyway, did she record, like, Miranda's, like, iris for, like, eye access into, like, the computer system?
I don't know.
Who knows? She recorded something. It was all a ploy, because Halsey's a fucking bitch.
She did that, and then Cortana was able to get back in contact with Halsey.
Oh, we forgot, like, my favorite part of this whole
Oh,
episode.
yeah, the most action-packed
John, in the very beginning, was trying to find out exactly how much power Cortana has over his bodily functions. So what he does is, while delivering...
Can you make me pee? Can you make me pee, Cortana? Cortana, can you make me pee?
Cortana, play the brown note.
I don't know why you guys took it there, but it's very funny.
When you said bodily functions in my mind, I turned 6.
So I laugh at fart jokes, you laugh at pee-pee jokes.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? So John, while delivering a very awesome, like, in-lore universe speech about this designer of airships, he traps Halsey in her lab on the ship and then proceeds to, like, do a UV radiation, like, cleanse of the ship.
It's a decontamination cycle
Decontamination
of
cycle.
that lab.
So it would just, like, flush that room with just an insanely toxic amount of radiation. And he's, like, holding the lever on the door shut. Like, make me stop it, Cortana. Fucking, he's playing a game of chicken with Cortana while Halsey's life is literally in the balance.
Yeah, he's gonna do a Gremlins.
And he goes to Halsey and he's like, "It's not the burning, it's the liquefaction."
Liquefaction.
The liquefaction, excuse me. And it's like, "Wait, what?" And then he further explains it, just in case you didn't understand what liquefaction means, about how they were cleaning buckets of this guy up for months. And it's like, oh my fucking God, he's gonna liquefy Halsey. I grabbed the popcorn, I grabbed my fake 3D glasses. I was so ready for this.
They mopped them up and put them into that mystery drink we drink at the end of the episode.
Ooh, that's the spiciness, huh?
Yeah.
It's human. But no, it turns out Cortana was like, "Nope, I can't do it. All I can do is shut down your nervous system and just make you collapse and be unconscious for a minute. I can't make you do things."
Which
and
isn't how it works in the rest of the Halo lore, because she can only, like, lock down the armor.
right.
Like, she can't just shut off his brain.
Well, in actual Halo universe, she is an AI chip that's implanted in the UI of the Spartan armor. The Mjolnir
Which
armor.
directly connects to his brain.
Yes, but in this universe, she's in his brain, which it seems like that's a leap they had to take because of how often Chief is not in his armor in this show.
Yeah.
Like, I don't fully agree with it, but I get it. I understand that you got to take some liberties with the show because you can't have your main character constantly walking around in this armor that weighs 7 tons, and you can't have him constantly helmeted because that's just bad for TV. So
It is,
even though
though.
Mando made it work for like 7 or 8 episodes.
You can show emotion with a helmeted person.
You can, but they chose not to.
And that's a misstep.
I think so. Like that was like the internet's number one complaint about Book of Boba Fett was that he kept taking off his helmet. And it's like, well, I mean, yeah, because I don't want to look at Tamora Morrison very much. I mean, he's a great guy, but I just rather look at like the helmet. I want badass Boba Fett in the helmet. And like that's what Mando is for us. You know, he's Mando in the helmet.
Yeah,
and that's what Chief
Mando
should have been.
When Mando takes off his helmet, it's a big deal. And when he, finally decides to keep the helmet off, it's going to mean something. It's going to be character development.
Right. Instead of John who took the helmet off at the end of the first episode, and it's like, oh, does this mean something?
Yeah, but
no, actually, this is just how he lives.
It's just instead of character
But
assassination.
guys, the music swelled, so I thought it meant something. Why would the music swell if it didn't mean anything?
Because it's what we in the audio business like to call audience manipulation. We wanted you to feel something, so the music was there so that you would start feeling something. But then you're like, wait, what? I don't understand. Why are you making me feel this way? And I was like, oh, sorry, you caught us.
No, I'm pretty sure that when the music swells, it means it's important. Anyway.
And this episode's so good because Kwan's not in it at fucking all.
Oh, my God.
Correction. She's in it for a single fucking scene.
But it's
And it was
also
a
not her.
hallucination.
Which is a hallucination because John's going crazy because he touched the artifact and it's making him feel things.
So the artifact is making him crazy? Like that's a thing that's happening?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he's recovering traumatic events from his past.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
his brain's going haywire and he's, slowly dying.
Halo wire?
I was going to try to make it work, and I decided it wasn't
going to step on the joke before you could.
I decided that it wasn't going to work, so I didn't do it.
And you know what? Jeff proved you right.
Thanks, Jeff.
You're welcome, everybody. But yeah, so Chief is kind of he's kind of getting sick and losing his mind touching the artifact. But the episode ends with him touching the artifact, and then his like circulatory system is shutting down. His heart rate is like through the roof. But then all of a sudden he hits this nirvana, and it just mellows out, and he's just hallucinating that he is standing on Halo with McKee, who was also just freaking out a minute ago, and now they're just like together on Halo. And then, oh God, I have no idea if she's 15 or 30. I have no idea if he's 15 or 30. But then they approach each other, and he like gently touches her face.
They almost had a Kylo and Rey moment.
They really did, and I really hope they don't do it. I don't want any love scenes in the show. I don't.
I also want to say, in the scene, it shows them on the actual Halo.
On the
ring.
actual Halo, yeah.
And I think that's
And just in case you didn't
that's
get
a
it-
fucking mistake.
Just in case you didn't get it, they do a full camera pan all the way up and around. Like, yeah, it's the Halo guys.
And they have the fucking Halo soundtrack playing, and it's great. But it's a mistake to show it this early.
I mean, there's only 2 episodes left in
Yep.
season 1.
Well, that's the thing. Like, there's 2 episodes left. They're not going to get to Halo and do all the things that they need to do on Halo unless they fuck the entire
I was going to
story
say,
up.
Chris, what if they do, though?
Then the story makes 0 sense. And I'm going to get into huge spoilers for potentially season 2.
I don't think it's fair to say spoilers for season 2 when you're talking about a 20-year-old game.
The entire point of the Halo rings is to exterminate all life, to combat the Flood, to get rid of their food source. If the Flood is not a thing, which they're gonna reveal in 2 episodes, the Flood, and start up the ring and destroy the ring and all that, they're not going to be able to do that in 2 episodes.
See,
So they're either going to do everything on the Halo ring, but there's going to be no Flood, which means the rings serve absolutely no purpose except to exterminate all life for some fucking reason.
you see, I'm of 2 minds. I, on one hand, think that the show is getting somewhere and getting better. And I don't want that to happen because I want a good Halo show.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other end, I kind of want to see 2 episodes of you talking about that
For
happening in
content
a
purposes, I
Halo
want to see
show.
Chris flip out. So here's my prediction. So I definitely think the
Oh,
Flood,
I know what's going to happen.
the Flood has to make an appearance.
Yes.
The Flood absolutely has to make an appearance because when you think of the entire Halo lore, you have Oni, you have UNSC, you have the Covenant, you have the Flood, you have the Forerunners.
The Flood is the one thing that sets all of the events of Halo in motion.
Exactly.
They are the single thing that has to be in the Halo show, otherwise it doesn't work.
Exactly. Halo the game was about finding Captain Keyes and reuniting with your team until you find out Keyes released the Flood and he's dead and now you have to fucking stop the Flood and destroy Halo. It's about cleaning up the mess that Keyes accidentally made. And that makes Chief realize there's a lot bigger plot here. We need to find the other Halos. We need to fucking fix this quick before the Covenant destroy all life in the universe.
Flood are the reason the rings are created.
Yep. The Forerunners make the rings to combat the Flood.
Yes.
And if there's no Flood, there's no Forerunners. If there's no Forerunners, there's no Halos.
Yeah.
So we definitely need to make sure the Flood happens. There's no way it doesn't happen.
And if there's no Halos, there's no Angels.
So in the modern age of leaving the end of a season on this crazy cliffhanger, I imagine it's going to end with Chief in the Halo confronting the Flood.
No, I think that the end of Season 1 is going to be the start of Halo Combat Evolved, where they're in the Pillar of Autumn and they arrive in the system where the Halo ring is.
Oh, that'd be
And
some
so
fan service.
I think that Episode 7 and 8 is going to be the Fall of Reach. So
McKee signals the Covenant.
McKee signals the Covenant fleet. They arrive on Reach and they just start fucking shit up.
If we do not get a Noble Team Easter egg...
Well, here's a... yeah, I would want a Noble Team Easter egg. But here's the thing. They haven't mentioned anything about the Spartan 3 program, and Troy's completely fucking lost.
Troy's lost because Troy's only ever played Reach.
They got
This is the part you played.
They got the big space ring, right?
Yes, very good.
All right,
Troy.
good. Thank you.
You know what, Troy?
Everybody, give it up for Troy Brittingham.
I'd like to thank my mom. I'd like to thank the Academy. I'd like to thank Jesus.
I'd like to thank Will Smith for giving me that slap that really just put me into shape, man.
It actually sort of got my life turned back around.
It sort of turned me on.
It's trying to turn my face around.
Turn the face around. Anyway.
Talking about the Fresh Prince.
Again, old
So, yeah.
story. It's played out. It's
I think
done.
we're going to see a huge fucking battle over these next 2 episodes, and I think it's going to be great.
And
if it's
hope
not-
you're right.
I'm going to burn this bitch to the ground.
I really, 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 really hope you're right because there's nothing I want more than a really awesome Halo show. And there's nothing Paramount wants more than an awesome Halo show because every time you start up the fucking app, it's the Warthog driving around. So I'm really curious to see where they go with the next 2 episodes. If you're right and it's the Fall of Reach, I'm going to cream my fucking pants. Oh
and
my God.
if you're wrong,
If I'm
it
wrong,
is
like,
all
oh.
the
If
other.
I'm wrong, and the next 2 episodes are just Quan and Soren,
Oh, God, why did you say that? You said it and you brought it into
All
existence.
right, wait. I have a caveat. What if somehow they and their whole side quest thing
End up on Reach?
I was gonna say run into the Flood, and it kicks off the Flood by them the 2 of them dying.
That
it'll
would
be weird
good.
that they're on Madrigal and do it, but whatever, I'll take it.
Is Madrigal in the games?
Madrigal gets mentioned. There's like a song in the original soundtrack that has Madrigal in the name. I don't know if that's an actual place.
So it might be like an Easter egg and not necessarily like you don't land on Madrigal ever.
I don't remember.
Yeah. I wish it is the Fall of Reach. I really hope the Fall of Reach is the last couple episodes. But after you mentioned it, they definitely are going to give an episode to tie up Quan and Soren.
Oh, this is a whole episode without Quan. What if the next one's a whole episode with no Master Chief?
So I'm literally thinking the next episode is all Quan and Soren tying up ends on Madrigal until episode 8, the season finale, is the Fall of Reach.
So, listeners, if you listen into the next podcast episode and we're all dejected and depressed, you can just skip that episode of Halo in this podcast.
Just skip that episode of Halo, assume it's the Quan episode, and then just move on to the season finale. And the good news is there will be a season 2, and the good news is it looks like Quan might die, so maybe she's not in season 2.
Okay, that being said, I think I know what could fix Quan's character. I think...
Development?
Development, yes. I think that development comes in the form of seeing that magical's a lost fucking cause, so she enlists with the UNSC as a Marine.
That would be.
And then she gets to be on the Halo and do things and die there.
That would be some pretty ballsy development.
Or, if they fucking included them, she could have become a Spartan 3 because her planet gets glassed. So that way she can be of use.
The threes weren't children, right?
No, they were conscripts from worlds destroyed by the Covenant.
Right. Oh, man, what if that's the thing? What if they're...
not conscripts, volunteers.
What if that's what it is? Quan sees her planet get glassed. She realizes the only way to fight the Covenant is to become a Spartan. And Halsey starts the Spartan 3 program in her new lab of isolation.
Well, it's weird because the Spartan 3 program should already be a thing by this point.
It should, but I mean, this is also Silver Team universe. This is not Blue Team universe.
But also, it's not a bad plotline if it's Halsey kidnapping kids, gets caught, and goes, all right, we're not kidnapping kids anymore.
I'm still going to do it, Mom. I'm just not going to kidnap kids. Jesus, get off my case.
Yeah, there's a reason why Parangoski, the leader of basically the shady organization that kills people, doesn't kill Halsey because she's really fucking useful.
Yes, that's the thing, right? It's like what when we were watching Invincible and that crazy fucking college kid that had undead soldiers fighting for him. He didn't get murdered or sent to prison forever. He was instead working for, what's his name? Cecil.
Yes.
Yeah, I remembered things out of a show we watched like a year ago. I'm so fucking smart.
Everybody, give it up for Jeff Ackerman.
Bringing in the Oscar.
Oh, thank you so much. I want to thank nobody. This was all on my own. Thank you. Good night.
Oh, sorry. I think we made a mistake. The Oscar should actually be going to Dr. Halsey.
Jesus fucking Christ. Fuck that bitch.
Yeah.
Also, Cortana continuing to be one of my favorite characters.
Oh, yeah.
Just by being awesome. Oh my god, she's amazing. And John wants to rip her out of his head, which I can't blame him for. But like, after Halsey got fired by Oni, kind of fired, relocated, I guess would be the better term. She got cut off from Cortana officially. So,
and unofficially, they're still in contact.
Unofficially, yeah. Cortana figured out how to make it into Halsey's personal home, and continue to be awesome and Cortana-y. So, I'm curious to see where everything goes. I'm very, very curious to see where everything goes. But
the dynamic between Cortana and Chief is very interesting because it's like the complete opposite of the games. Where
they're very combative, and he doesn't want her there at all.
Like even in the initial books, like at first he's like, I don't know about this AI thing, and then like immediately as soon as he sees the benefits, he's like, oh yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah,
I'm on board.
Well, to be fair, if you're looking at the games alone, Cortana was always like, this is an amazing thing that we have. The Covenant can't get it. Keep her safe, Chief. And he's like, yep, will do. Into my armor you go. My job now is to keep you safe and to stop the Covenant. And I was like, okay, that's his job, and that probably harbors a bit more of a better relationship than, oh, you are in trouble, mister. We're putting a fucking robot in your head. Like, that's how it happened in the show.
It's also weird because Cortana in the actual canon is the one who plots the coordinates to Halo. Like, there's no fucking keystone. There's no magical vision that tells them where it is. She finds the information from the Covenant because they already know where it is.
Yeah, the Covenant know where their fucking Halos are. But I don't. Do they know where the Halos are in this universe? Because it sounds like they don't.
Because they need the fucking keystone.
They're constantly looking for the fucking keystones to find out where the Halos are. So I guess not. Very interesting.
Very.
They're certainly taking a lot of liberties between the games and the show, but they're not doing anything that doesn't make sense yet. So I'm okay.
Yeah, they're doing an okay job.
Yeah, they're doing okay so far.
And no Quan.
And no Quan in this episode. Did we mention that? Because it was a good episode without Quan.
Yes.
And I feel bad shitting on this poor fucking girl who's just doing her job.
Actress doing fine job.
Exactly. She's just written badly. Yeah. I feel so bad for the actress. She fucking acting her face off, and it doesn't matter because the character's written to be a whiny little brat.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's an issue with almost all like kid and young adult sort of characters. Is like that's how they all start. We don't know how to make an
adult seem like a kid, so we're just gonna make them whine a bunch.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you, man. Just be a better writer. Anyway, I think that's it for Halo, guys. I'm really hoping you're right and we get to see the Fall of Reach because that's a real fucking good time. I mean, correction. It's not a good time.
It's a good time for us. It's not a good time for anybody on Reach.
Yeah. Especially Noble
said,
6.
If it is the Fall of Reach, I think we're going to see Silver Team mostly die.
Ooh.
Because the fall of Reach is devastating to the Spartan 2 program. Like a lot
Exactly.
of the Spartan 2s die on Reach.
A lot of this MIA. Spartans never die. They're missing in action.
Please.
Except
all
for
Maya.
all of Noble Team. They're very dead.
They're living in a cave somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Right with Elvis and Old Man Hitler.
Guys, I
Old
don't.
Man Hitler, excuse me?
Hitler's still alive in a cave somewhere, guys. Come on, he didn't actually kill himself.
Okay.
Guys, I don't know if George survived.
Yeah, he wasn't on Reach.
He wasn't on Reach, it's true.
George.
From Reach.
Oh, okay.
He blew himself up.
He blows up real bad, actually.
Correction, he doesn't blow himself up. He rips himself into two with a slip space generator.
Yeah, I don't think that he's okay.
No, he's cool. He's cool.
Okay.
Emil and Kat are gonna join up soon, and June. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Everybody's gonna be fine.
I don't think they're okay.
So that's all we have for this week's episode of Halo. Watch the show, please. Keep watching with us. We love you all very much. Thanks to Troy. Thanks to Chris. And good night, everybody.
Stay tuned for what I'm going to put in my body.
Hello, everyone. This is the bit at the end of the episode because it became a running gag of mine where I make my friends try disgusting sodas and snacks because I hate them deeply. So, for this episode, I'm going to make Troy and Chris try brand new Mountain Dew Flamin' Hot.
I heard about this.
I'm just gonna
Is
get
this sponsored?
There it is.
Ooh.
Right in the mic. There's the crack. Brand new bottle. I got a couple little shot glasses here because you're not going to want that much of it, I have a feeling.
For the listeners, we have the shot glasses of Fallout Vintage Pinup Girl, and I'm Pickle Rick.
All right, wait. Chris and Troy, I need you guys to both get the glasses to your lips.
Hold on.
Okay.
Let me waft this into
Is
my
this
nose.
it's supposed to be like a mukbang? Should they hear us drink it?
If you want, this is going to be the end of the podcast. Some supplemental content, as
All
it
right,
were.
leave now if you don't want to hear
It
drinking.
doesn't smell.
I have a bad sense of
Super
smell,
awful.
so
So do I. All right.
All right.
Troy?
Bottoms up, boys. And what do we think of that?
initial thoughts. Oh, it has an aftertaste. It tasted normal until oh, it's getting real cough syrupy.
Jeff, I'll take another.
Oh, you like it, huh?
No.
You just want another tasting?
Yes.
Okay. Let me just get the bottle back out. Here we go. Troy, are you going for round 2?
I think I'm good. I think I got the gist of it. It's like burning now.
It's flaming hot.
I get that, but it's like not hot. It's like just.
So I bought this before for me and my fiance and my roommate to all try it. Red and John, they've been on the podcast before. Red and John loved it. They drank it up like monsters. I had a sip and I was like, this is terrible.
It doesn't really have like a flavor.
It just has an aftertaste.
It just sort of tastes like the acidity of Mountain Dew.
And then you get that lime. There's a little bit like spicy lime in the back of your mouth.
And it's like I'm licking the flaming hot Cheeto dust off of somebody's lips.
It tastes like I just took like just a pinch of like cayenne pepper and just kind of sprinkled it in the back of my mouth, but not like enough for it to be hot or spicy. Just like
yeah, it's not great in my opinion.
oh,
it feels like I'm making out with Chester Cheetah.
Mr. Cheetah.
This is his saliva.
oh,
Ew, gross.
I'm not. It's hard to make me gag, and that did it.
Drinking Chester Cheetah's saliva.
I
That'll do
hate
it.
that.
So, Mountain Dew Flamin' Hot on a scale of 1 to 5. How many 1 to 5s? How many are you giving it?
I'll give it a 2. It
2?
didn't.
Okay,
It
okay.
wasn't like the worst thing I've ever put in my mouth, but it wasn't.
But it's certainly up there.
It's not great.
I'll give it a 2 as well.
Oh.
It just doesn't do anything good for me.
Perfect. On with our regularly scheduled programming.